is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Monday Momentum, Make Some Money, Honey, with me and my partner in crime, Sarah Coolidge. Hey, Sarah.
Good morning. Hello, everybody.
So today we are going to be talking about one of my most favorite topics, and that favorite topic is, what was the one thing that surprised you most about starting your own business? We're also going to be following up on last week's topic, which was hashtags and how do we use those to make more money, and does that have an influence? And share with me some great stories from last week as far as your hashtags go. Sarah, do you have something exciting to share with us about this week?
Tomorrow is election day, so whoever is out there that knows me and lives in North Shore Lake Tahoe, this is what you're supposed to do. Vote for Sarah Coolidge on November 4th, tomorrow.
That's it?
That's not the only thing, and then I can get back to my regular, normal life after I get elected. Yeah, it's an interesting thing running for office, and I think everybody should do it at least once. You learn a heck of a lot. You're very, very busy for a long time, and I don't know how people do, like the big campaigns, the governors and presidents and things. They must be, never doing anything else, which I guess that's kind of how it seems. So,
I think that's kind of how it's supposed to be too. They're supposed to be focusing on that.
Yes, but I don't know how they pay their bills. Sorry, I mean, there must be funding somewhere to help pay for that. So.
Right, exactly. Well, I am very excited about this week. I'm very excited. I went to an all-girls Catholic high school growing up.
Ooh, how exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. So cool. But the one thing that we definitely learned, or that I felt very strongly about, was the women's right to vote. And I feel very strongly about Americans' right to vote. And the fact that every time we have an election and we have a changing of the guard, and I don't care who you vote for, but every time you vote, you are once again having a peaceful change in command, and that is what is so amazing to me, and I'm so proud to be an American, as you all have heard me say before. So Sarah doing this has been really powerful for me. I think it's really strong, and I don't take it for granted 1 minute. So thank you, Sarah.
Well, thank you. It has been a really interesting experience to deal with all the aspects of running a campaign and all the things that you have to do there, and some of the attitudes that you run into, all the way from, oh, you want me to vote for you? Okay, just really simple, sure, I had never met you before in my life, but you've asked, so yes, the answer is, to all the way, some really heavy questioning, and why do you do this, and why are you doing that, and so intense that it makes me want to say, if this matters so much to you, happy birthday, baby. If this matters so much to you, why don't you run? But there are people that run, and there are people that are behind them, and this may not be news to anybody, but it's certainly more news to me, especially having experienced it. And we all have different gifts and talents, and so the person that's running is not exactly like the people that want to get them elected. And the ferocity of emotion around some of this too. I mean, this is a very small area that I live in, and yet people are really, intensely involved in it. And the election process is a pretty neat thing, because somebody, and maybe somebody who's watching knows, said democracy is a mess. It's not, so great, but it's the best thing we've got. And that's kind of what I can really see happening now. It may not be perfect, but it is the best thing we've got, and it's a chance for us to get new leadership in our local area, and I'm enjoying learning all about it and hopefully winning it.
Awesome. Well, once again, I don't take it for granted. I am so proud to be able to vote, and I've been voting actively since I was 18 years old, at least doing the very best I could. And again, don't care who you vote for. Just get out and
get out there.
Get out and vote. So that was my little message for the morning, which I am very much passionate about. But my next question that I'm going to pose to everyone, whether you answer it publicly or not, I'd like you to think about this, because I have gotten many diverse answers when I've asked this question. What was the one thing that surprised you the most about starting your own business? Sarah, tell me what that was for you. And then I'm going to share some answers that I've gotten from other people around the country. But Sarah, tell me what you think.
Well, so if we get away from campaigning, which has also kind of been like starting a business, when I think of starting a business, you know, the first thing that happened for me when someone suggested that maybe I consider doing that, I was like, are you kidding? Really? Me? And then once I got used to the idea, I think the biggest surprise or challenge for me has been learning how to do what I do best and then farm out the rest. And that dance of when do you do that? Because, you know, there's, when you're first starting something, if it's just you, usually there's a, you know, you don't have perhaps a lot of sales right away or whatever, and so there's not a lot of money to pay someone else, and yet you really get to a point where you have to, and it's almost as if you don't take that step, you're never going to grow. And so for me, learning about how to trust other people, how to partner with other people, how to truly continuously identify, is this the best use of my time? Is this the best use for me? Or should I be doing something else and having someone do this if I can find someone else to do it? Because you just can't grow otherwise. And that was all really new for me. In a job, when you have a job, you don't really, you know, you just do your job. And perhaps when you're leading the organization, which is basically the same as owning your own business, then you have to make those kinds of decisions. But when you're an employee, let's say that, you don't so much. You just do, you know, what the list is that you're supposed to do, and some of it you're good at, and some of it maybe you're not so great at, but you have to do it all. So that, for me, I don't know, does that answer your question?
100% it does. That absolutely answers my question. We have one of my favorite people on today. I don't know if she's available for answering questions. Brenda, are you there? Are you able to answer a question this morning?
Oh, I'd love to hear your musical voice, Brenda.
I think she's listening in.
She's listening. Come on. Maybe she has laryngitis.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I would like to share with you something that has come to me actually from a couple of different doctors. My background with marketing and with my business is that when I began, I actually started my business by working with dentists and doctors, primarily dental specialists and chiropractors, but I've worked with a lot of different kind of people. But I asked one of my my clients who is a chiropractor the other day, I said, what is the one thing that surprised you the most about starting your own business? And I was really surprised by her answer, which was, I had no idea that marketing was so intense, so difficult, and so much a part of my business. It's like I now have two jobs. I'm a full-time marketing and sales professional, and I'm a full-time chiropractor, and I just didn't know that. And I will tell you that when she said that to me, I was surprised, because in chiropractic school they do get a lot of time and attention paid to marketing and sales. But I don't know if anybody else out there knows this, but up until at least a couple of years ago, when you went to dental school, if the amount of marketing training that you got in dental school was literally one class, 1 hour, Monday morning, first thing, freshman year. And they didn't cover, and I didn't make that up. People told me that. I was at a dental conference, and they told me it was the same at several different schools. And we do have quite a few different schools around here. 1 hour in freshman year, Monday morning, first thing. I mean, if you were even there, and that's what they were saying. Like that would be the class you would skip anyway.
Exactly, freshman year. By the time you graduate, you forgot it. Yeah, that's really typical. I mean, you get an education in college, obviously, but there's things you really don't get that you really need, this practical knowledge. I mean, they are always talking about doctors go to, 200 years of school, but they still don't know anything about nutrition, for instance. They don't get any training on preventive stuff. It's all treating symptoms and identifying, the symptoms and what's going on, and never the root cause. And so they come out and they don't know some really basic stuff, and I'm sure they don't get any training on marketing either, and they're going to be starting their own businesses.
Absolutely. That you have hit the nail on the head. They also don't get any training on like supplementation or vitamins.
Yeah.
They don't at all, and so they end up treating illnesses, not people. That's a completely different conversation, but that's absolutely true.
But it's the same lack. And I have another friend, the same thing. She's constantly having to remind herself, I got to be marketing, I got to be marketing, I got to be marketing. And so you do have to become, on some level of some kind, a marketing expert. You can't just ignore it if you have your own business, and you can't be really lousy at it. Even if you hire it out, which you choose not to do it for yourself, you still have to understand the importance of it and believe in it. And yeah, you are constantly marketing. And then there's that dance. Okay, now I've got some business. And when you're a solopreneur, there goes the dog. Sorry, a solopreneur. Okay, I got 5 clients. So you're so busy, you let go of your marketing. And then when those clients are taken care of, oops, no business. I should have been marketing. So the importance of systems and all the great automatic stuff that's out there, of course, always, the internet, there's so many things that are free, but you have to have some expertise and have to be willing to hire it if you're not going to take the time to learn how to do it yourself, or learn how to do any of it yourself. Excuse me.
And I've actually experienced the flip side of that, which is I'm such a marketing and salesperson. I don't know diddly squat about the other side, like accounting or bill collecting or how to deal with creditors. I mean, I don't know any of that stuff. That is completely outside of my wheelhouse. So that goes exactly back to what you were saying, Sarah. Knowing your limitations, knowing what you're good at and what you're not good at. So that absolutely is something that I find incredibly interesting. But I really would like everyone to email me and tell me, what is the one thing that surprised you the most? My husband started his business, and as much as I'm an extrovert, my husband is that much of an introvert. We are like little yin and yang. We are so incredibly well suited for each other. But he is such an introvert that the thing that he said that surprised him the most, and I didn't even think about this, we had signed up for quite a few different trade shows because his business has to do with travel, and his business is called need2vacation.com. So his strongest forte that he likes to talk to people about their trips, and he wants to help them plan it, and he wants to help them research. So we signed up for a couple of different trade shows. And Sarah, have you ever done a trade show? I'm sure you've done lots of trade shows, right?
Yeah, mostly around my own business, but they're fun, or they can be fun.
Well, what he said that surprised him the most, and it cracked me up, was that when you do a trade show, you can't just set up your table and people come over and buy stuff. I didn't know that you needed to have some sort of a call to get them to come over to your table. So I'd like to share with you a tip that I shared with him that I learned very early on when people would have me work at their trade show tables, which is I would have a steak to bring people over. So, for instance, for
steak. Is that what you said?
No,
a filet mignon, or just the scent. I'm sorry.
A dangle of steak. They said have a carrot, but I figured a carrot wasn't as delicious.
And if they didn't come, their dog would come at least.
It's bacon. You just have bacon at your booth, and you're good.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard to be a vegetarian. Bacon.
No, what I did is I gave him a phrase that he would use as a launching point when he was at a trade show. Now, I challenge you that this is also the perfect thing to do when you're at a networking event. So for my husband, whose business is need2vacation.com, when someone would be walking by, he would casually say to them, "Where are you going on your next trip?" Or "Where would you like to go on your next trip?" Or "Your next vacation," since that was part of the name of his business. And when he'd be at a networking event, he could walk up to somebody, not, "Hi, how are you? I'm Don Worry, and my business is vacations." He could say, "Where'd you go on your last vacation? Where are you going on your next vacation?" Which is the same with you, right, Sarah? It's what are the issues that are most important to you in North Tahoe? What is it that's the most challenging for you? And it's the same for me as a marketing professional. What is the number one thing? And I kind of wish, I know my business is called Word of Mouth, but sometimes I think it should be called Silver Bullet, because people just want the silver bullet. They just want to know what it is. What's the thing? What's the silver bullet that's going to get me more business? Are you there, Brenda? Are you going to talk?
I am there, but I thought today's topic was hashtags.
We're going to come back to that. We talked about that last week too. We're going to circle back around.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No worries. But I did want to know, and I did ask you before you were responding, what is the one thing that surprised you most about starting your own business?
That I actually had a business, something tangible in my hands, but as much as I talked about it, it wasn't enough. There had to be more to actually get it out there so people would know what my business was and who I am. So there's a lot. That's where I don't think people appreciate that social media piece as well as just regular advertising locally.
Mm-hmm. And it's marketing.
Yes. Yeah.
So we do have a little common thread, and hashtags have a lot to do with marketing. So we will get there, I think. 14 minutes left.
Yeah.
But one of the things that, if I could just interrupt for a second, what you just said about, having the question to ask them that gets them to talk, and is not, you're coming at them with your information, but that you're asking a question that's relevant, that's an open-ended question, so they can't just say yes or no, and it gets them to hear themselves. This is all the same thing. It's building relationships in a way where people are truly heard and felt valued, and not just networking where you're running around trying to just get as many cards as you can or shove your card in as many hands as you can, but actually begin to build some kind of relationship and find out if there is a commonality. And so, I just wanted to throw that out there because, again, that's what it ends up to. And we need to do it. We're all humans. We need to relate, or we don't feel okay.
Right. And I will tell you that if you can't think of a specific question, if coming up with a question seems artificial or it just doesn't feel right, there is a basic question that a lot of people will use, which is, if you had a magic wand and you could wave that magic wand, what would you change about your current situation today? So for health and wellness, if you had a magic wand, what would you change about your health and wellness today? How would you feel, and how would you feel better? Or, the situation in North Tahoe, or in my case, if you had a magic wand, what is the one thing you'd like to learn today that you feel would make an enormous difference in the direction of your business or the income you're generating, what have you? And it's interesting because when you ask someone that way, it gets a completely different response. I actually learned that question working with dentists, because although a lot of people use that question, dentists will use that on a questionnaire because they might be so busy treating you for what's wrong, again, the symptoms, what's wrong with your mouth, that they never ask you about the cosmetic piece. And I bring that up because you might be so busy asking your clients about what you think is important to them that you never actually hear what they would do differently, how they would use your services. So I do pose that question. If you could wave a magic wand, what is it that you would change? And see what you hear.
Yeah. And that has been really valuable to me in the campaigning. When I slip into just saying all the stuff that I think they want to hear, or the things that I think I'm supposed to say, versus when I remember to say, well, what do you think? What matters to you about this? What are you interested in knowing? And obviously it's a conversation. They're not going to be satisfied if I never have any opinion in my own. But it builds rapport, and it builds a relationship, and it also has enriched me hugely, because there's all sorts of things out there that I never considered before in my own life about this position and about our community that other people have a lot to say about.
Awesome. That's fantastic. So I'd like to sum this up by saying that I did talk about what is a silver bullet, and I think what a silver bullet is asking somebody if they could change something with a magic wand. So we're a little bit Halloween driven this week. Magic wand, silver bullet.
No werewolves here, though.
And werewolves. And that is my segue into hashtags for Brenda. So I conducted a little experiment this week when I was doing some posting for clients and some posting for myself. And that was to throw in a couple of extra trending hashtags. Do you remember what trending hashtags were, Sarah? You might.
Yeah, I do. And happy Halloween. you want to use them if you can, if that's what's going on today, but you don't want to use them if they aren't relative to whatever it is you're posting or whatever it is you're putting out there. So I used it a couple times too when I had people dressed up in Halloween costumes or something that was, you know, it was Halloween day that I was posting, so then I could throw it on there.
Absolutely, and you can segue. Brenda, did you by any chance see those hashtags on your on any of your social media this week?
I did. That's what made me tune in today, and it lifted my my score with Google and Facebook.
Right.
Oh my God! I can't believe a couple comments made this much difference.
So Brenda is one of my clients, I'm proud to say, and I do social media for Brenda. And I posted a couple things, Happy Halloween, hashtag Happy Halloween, and also hashtag Daylight Savings Time.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a good one.
Those are trending topics. People are talking about that, and I was dying because I put up some cute pictures, whatever, Happy Halloween from Brenda, as well as some other information in some posts. But she went from 1 or 2 people seeing her post or 1 or 2 people sharing. At one point, it was 255 people had seen the post. Did you see that?
I did. It was amazing, Julia.
It was so funny. I couldn't believe it. But what I as a next step. So let's just say that's our first step, that we're going to use trending topics. Remember, we go to Twitter. We look on the lower left panel of our Twitter page on our home page, and that will show us trending topics. Now, that is specific by area, and I say that because this morning I was accidentally on trending topics in Washington as opposed to Baltimore, and in Washington they're talking about stuff to do with the football team there, and in Baltimore they're talking about the football team there, and in
nobody's talking about the election.
No, and they're talking about different players and things like that. So you have to make sure that you're looking at your area or the area that you want to target. Look for the trending topic and see if there is some way to use that trending topic in your post.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have trouble finding that, again, just go to Google, search trending topics, look and see what's going on now, or go to hashtags.org, hashtags.org, O-R-G, and look and see what's new and exciting. And remember to find out what those hashtags are, because one of the hashtags that's trending right now is Alex, or Alex from Target, and it's supposed to be some big giant inside joke. I didn't read long enough to learn what it is, but that's what's trending right now. So I didn't want to accidentally use hashtag Alex referring to my niece, whose name is Alex, and find out it had to do with somebody somewhere else. So that just make sure that the hashtag that you're using is relevant to what it is you're talking about. Use a segue into whatever you want to talk about. That's good. Election day is a real good one right now, right?
Well, I hope so. I hope it's trending somewhere. It
will be tomorrow, but here's what, remember too, we talked about being on the forefront of using that hashtag. So for instance, Happy Thanksgiving, because when someone does go, you will be at the top because you've been using that hashtag longer. So in the search results, you'd be higher up. So that's really good. Now, if you have a business where you're helping people to make more money or have a health and wealth lifestyle, a healthier, wealthier lifestyle, you can search healthy, wealthy lifestyle or election day or voting. When you search that, and then you can read other people's posts and find out what their hashtags are as well. You can follow that. Now, if you want more instruction on how hashtags can work for you, and we can do some specifics and some real heavy-duty farming into what it is that your hashtag should be, feel free to private message me. I would be happy to work that out. Sarah, did we come up with one for you, and how's that going?
Well, you know, we've been using hashtag Tahoe Sarah and hashtag Sarah Coolidge Politician all week, and I have to confess I have not looked at it, but someone on my team did and said that lots of things are coming up, and so those are the ones that we've kind of been using. I'm going to have to see about something with elections for tomorrow, or election day, or hashtag vote, or get out the vote, maybe something, because I would think that somewhere that would be trending or something around it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right? It might be tomorrow, and it probably it's interesting because it probably will flow all the way over until like Thursday or something. So you want, as long as you're continuously using it. I mean, the big news right now is Halloween, daylight savings time, whatever. This is the start, and I don't know if you all know, but November is Diabetes Awareness Month and Alzheimer's Awareness Month. Those are huge topics, so they're also going to be trending as well. So bearing that in mind.
Julia, it's Hispanic month too.
Absolutely.
God, and thank you, Brenda.
Absolutely.
Wow.
As well as Vegan Month, Lung Cancer Awareness Month, Gluten-Free Diet Awareness Month, which is very personal to me. Can I share with you all another tip real quick?
Yes, we have 4 minutes.
But wait, Julia, where did you get that list?
You mind reader, you.
Yeah, that's the tip, I think. Yeah, it's one of Julia's websites, I bet.
No, I have.
What month is this?
I have 2. I'm looking up the specific right now. The first place that I go for a list, and I do this specifically because I work with people who have family-based businesses. For instance, they need to be family friendly. Apples4theteacher.com, and the 4 is actually the numeral 4. Apples numeral 4 theteacher.com.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to that website, it's actually curriculums for teachers, and it gives every single well, I'm not going to say every single. It gives you a ton of days of the week, as well as this month is, or this week is. So for instance, right now I combined a list of what's applicable to my clients. This is my list of all of the different days of the month, as well as the weeks are over here, and at the bottom here I have this month is whatever it is. So what I guess it's too fuzzy. So that's the first one, Apples for the Teacher. And the second one is daysoftheyear.com. Daysoftheyear.com. I cross-reference those lists. And then third and final, I will search pet holidays, because people love their pets. So when I take my list, I make a handwritten or typewritten list, and I can go in and I can supplement all of my posts based on those. So that's where I get my list from, Brenda.
Well, and I'm thinking, okay, there's a whole nother website right there.
I'm sorry.
Julia's list.
Yeah. So Brenda, what was that you said? I didn't.
No, I was just saying thank you. That was great.
Well, good. Well, good. Those are all freebies because there's no fee for those, but it's fantastic because it's the way to segue into what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
If you want to work from home, like the 3 of us do, and the other folks who are viewing, and we do have quite a few viewers, if you want to work from home and you want more information on that, a great hashtag is going to be what?
Hashtag work from home.
Hashtag work.
Or if it's not already taken or whatever. If it's not.
Well, no. A hashtag isn't taken. Remember,
I know.
Joining the conversation. When I use that hashtag, that links me to the rest of the conversation.
And then you use one, so you use one like that, and then you use one that's more specific to Julia to pull them. Oh, what else does this lady talk about?
And if I search Julia Flynn Worry, where does that take me? What is that path? So for Brenda's posting, we used hashtag Happy Halloween, and then we used posts that actually had to do more with her business and her topic, right, Brenda?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did Tahoe Sarah and Happy Halloween. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So today there's some really interesting things that are out there. I urge you to go find the topics that are trending, as well as the topics that have to do with whatever it is that you're talking about. We are right at 10:30.
Oh my God, there we go.
I tell you that next time we're going to incorporate this into another great topic on marketing, which is content.
Next time, all we're going to do is celebrate my big fat win. That's all we're going to do next time.
Yay! Okay, we'll do that too. We'll start with champagne.
Yeah, we can have what is it?
Hashtag
Mimosas,
champagne.
right?
Mimosas, right? Hashtag Sarah won.
Woohoo!
I want to talk next time a little bit about blogging and content marketing and how that works. And it goes from being interruption marketing to marketing that is seeded into a person's life. I want to talk more about that. Brenda, can you tell me your name, your business, and how I can find you, and then kick it to Sarah?
Okay, this is Brenda Graham at brendagraham.com, and I focus on health and wealth.
There you go.
Need to say more?
Nope, that's it. Sarah?
So I'm Sarah Coolidge, and I have a dual role right now. I work with CEO Space and help businesses grow on all different levels. And of course, right now, as you know, I'm also running for office. I have two things I want to say, which is anybody local, vote tomorrow. If you're in my CEO Space group, we have a meeting on Wednesday. That'll be the day after election, so it's going to be really fun. So I know there's some of you out there watching. So at the Swill Wednesday in Reno from 4 to 6. And lastly, I just want to give a big, huge, giant thank you to Julia, because she and I have been partners in this Google Hangout for a while now. But ever since I put my name in to run for office, I've had to take a back seat, and she has taken the reins and just run with it. And so after tomorrow, I'll be able to help her more. But she's been so wonderful and so supportive of all of this, and it's just been a delight. And so thank you, Julia.
Oh my God, you both make me feel so good. I'm gonna go over and feel really good about myself afterward. I'll feel really, really good. Well, I want to thank you both, and I want to thank all the viewers, and I want to thank all the guests that we've had. We're coming up on a full calendar year here. This is truly exciting for us. I can't believe how far we've come over the last year. Every Monday morning, my adrenaline flows with excitement as to what this talk is going to bring, and what education and information we're going to have, and what new person we're going to have on every single week. I want to thank every single one of you and let you all know that you are welcome. Come online with me and come online with Sarah and all of our guests and her puppies, and my puppy who's being quiet down there. Every single Monday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we get together for 30 minutes to have Monday momentum to make some money, honey. Join us again next Monday morning. Thank you all so much, and we're signing off.
Bye.